Hey guys, what is happening? Welcome back to Toe Tags Metal Reviews. Today, we have a review of an album that's not so new. It's actually a couple years old because we decided that we're going to take a look at some older albums that we both have enjoyed over the years. And for the first time doing this, we're going to take a look at a Children of Bodom album, their latest work, I Worship Chaos. We both think this is a great album, which is why we picked it. And yeah, we're going to give it a review here. So without further ado, let me pass it off to Mr. Fish here and let us know what you think of this album.
All right, this album, I got it when it was somewhat new. I was there at HMV thinking like, this one or Halo of Blood. So I took the chance. And this album, I checked it out and I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was, it's very, I wouldn't say straightforward because that sounds like you're kind of, generalizing it as something that's kind of like, oh, is it sort of lame that way? It gives you what you expect. It's not going to throw some weird curveball. It's like confusing.
Bodom doesn't really do that though.
Yeah, no, it's very...
Yeah, they're usually a pretty straightforward band, but I see what you mean. It gives you what you want when you buy a Bodom album.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. My favorites from this album is between either I Hurt, which I believe was the single from this album.
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest.
It might have been. I remember hearing it a lot.
Yeah.
But maybe that's because it's the first song.
Maybe.
But it sounds like a song that would be a single.
It does. Yeah, I'm not even sure what the single was. I think Morgan might have been a single off this, to be honest. I think I Hurt maybe. I don't know, but Morgan kind of stands out to me as what I thought the single was. But anyways.
Either way, my favorites are that or the title track. Both of them similarly had fantastic energy. It just got you going. You put it on and it gets right out of the gate.
One reason I love Children of Bodom it has to do with that exactly, is that they make good circle pit music.
Yes.
And that's a lot of their songs are just crazy and you just want to run around in a circle, and crazy and mosh and shit. That's one of the best things about this band, and that's the focus of their music, is to get people pumped.
That is a very accurate description of the vibes I was getting from these two songs. It's the energy. And one thing I really liked about this album entirely was the use of keyboard. I loved the keyboard sound. It was really proggy. It was always there.
Yeah.
Almost every song there was a keyboard solo or something that really established a presence for the keyboard. Oh my god, I just loved it. Every time I heard it, I loved it. Every time.
I almost wonder if they changed the tone of the keyboard in this album, because it stood out more than it normally does for me. And I've been listening to Bodom for years and years and years. I got all their albums, know all their stuff, and the keyboard in this album seemed to stand out more than it ever has before. I don't know why. I don't know if they maybe mastered it differently or if the guy changed his tone. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I can't really put my finger on it, but you're correct. The keyboard is definitely prominent in a good way on this album. It stands out. This keyboard solos.
Yeah, I just felt that was really prominent. There were a lot of keyboard solos, and especially in a song like All for Nothing, that had a big trading segment between the guitar and the keyboard, and it just kept going, and it faded out with that, which is a really interesting way to end a song. You don't normally see a trading section fade out in a song, which I found was very unique. Mm-hmm. And that song in general being, near the end of the album was a very climactic song, not only within itself, how it was building up to the solo section with the trading, but also when you listen to all the songs, it puts you in a place that feels like you're on top of a mountain.
That's true.
It puts you up there.
Yeah.
So I feel like it works as a song on its own, and it also works in the context of the entire album.
Was there any songs that you thought were kind of like bottom of the barrel, kind of, didn't really flow with the rest or anything like that?
There were some songs that, were enjoyable, and like I said, gave you, exactly what you'd expect, but didn't really wow me. Like My Bodom, it was a cool song. Mm. It was, it was entertaining to listen to, but nothing really, stood out to me, made me go, oh, that, nothing was really too huge for me.
Yeah.
It was a little bit too straightforward. Another song like that was Horns. Yeah. Not only was the groove similar to My Bodom, it didn't really go anywhere.
I thought it had some high energy. It was pretty hype.
It had energy, but I didn't...
Had a good solo.
I don't know. There was something about it for me that just didn't, travel enough.
It did feel typical. And you know what? I want to make one thing clear here. The thing is, we've been listening to this album. It came out in 2015, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been listening to this. I've listened to this album tons, right? This album has been, I don't want to say overplayed, but I listened to it a lot. And when you listen to albums so much, you get fatigued on it.
Yeah.
It's like anything. You can't watch a movie so many times. You can't play a video game so many times. it doesn't matter what it is. If you do something too much, you get fatigued on it. So I think the fact that we're reviewing this now is a little bit unfair to the album itself, because we've had so much time to soak it in and really listen to it, to the point where
becomes oversaturated.
We're almost, I don't want to say bored of it. I don't want to use that word because I'm not bored of it. I still think it's a great album. But for lack of better term, I'll use that word. And that's kind of the situation, right? You listen to the song, it's like, okay, I've heard this a million times. It doesn't have that impact of listening to the first time or for the first week like we normally do when we review an album. So I think for that reason, a song like, what was the one you just mentioned? Horns.
Yeah.
That song's not going to hit as hard because you've heard it so many times already, right? Same with the rest of the album. But with that said, I'm going to jump in here and tell you about my favorite song in the album, which you've already talked about, and that's All for Nothing. I cannot get over this song, okay? This song, to me, is on another level. And it's a little different in the vein that Children of Bodom usually makes music, because it's a lot more mellow. They have a couple other songs like that, like Prayers for the Afflicted, which reminds me a lot of their Angels Don't Kill style, which is a popular song. You know, a lot of fans love Angels Don't Kill. It's one of their slower melodic songs. All for Nothing is like that. It starts off slow and mellow, then it picks up in the middle, and then the ending is just mind-blowing because it starts off with this insanely awesome solo, then a keyboard solo kicks in, then it just trades off guitar and keyboard solos for like a good couple minutes before the song fades out. It's amazing. It's so well written, so well performed. I love it. It's easily the best song on the album, one of the best Children of Bodom songs in their whole discography, in my opinion.
Very unique.
And we were talking about that song earlier as we were listening to it, and the song's about a breakup, okay? Because I was trying to put together the song structure and the meaning of the song. It's about a breakup, and I think the song design was built around the song lyrics, which I think is ingenious. Because you mentioned how the song faded out, and you almost would have preferred something that was more like kind of in your face and a good, solid ending, a bookend.
Mainly
to the song.
because of how climactic it felt.
Yes. But I think that they deliberately made it a fade out because the song's about a breakup, and breakups can kind of end like that. Like, you don't break up with somebody, then boom, it's over.
It lingers in you.
It lingers in you. It stays with you for a while, and then eventually those hurt feelings and that anger or whatever you're feeling, all that negativity, it fades away, right? So when the song starts off, it's very mellow and kind of, it's like melancholy, right? And you get that, like, hey, this guy's not, this guy or girl, whoever it is, person's not happy in the relationship. They're it's coming to an end, and they feel it. You feel that emotion in the song. It's just such a well-written song. I honestly encourage you, if you haven't listened to it yet, at least pick that song to listen to on this album, in my opinion, I would say. But aside from that, I like the whole album. I think it's a great album, which is why I recommended it for us to review. As far as bad songs go, I would say the worst song on the album for me is Prayer for the Afflicted, which is, I mentioned a second ago, with their slow kind of breather song. But still not a bad song. It's still a great song. Like I said, it reminds me of Angels Don't Kill. Just lacks a bit of energy. It's like a cool down song.
Yeah, it's a good transitional song, especially being halfway through the album.
It's number 5 on the album. There's 10 songs. There's also 3 bonus tracks, which are cover songs, which, by the way, we're not including in this review. We're reviewing just the
original content.
The original content. But other than that, before we give our final reviews, I want to play a little game with you.
Oh boy,
it's a little impromptu game. So what I want you to do is I'm gonna say a line, a sentence, and the answer is gonna be the title of track number 2. Okay?
What?
A stinky came from
my Bodom.
I fell down and bruised
my Bodom.
I have a pickle in
my Bodom.
Okay, we'll try another one. This time, I'm going to read a sentence and I want you to tell me the title name of track number 10. She can kick you in the forehead.
With her shins.
She can steer a car.
With her shins.
Guess what she can also do? She can stop bullets.
With her shins.
Okay, that was pretty lame. Sorry. I thought it'd be kind of fun. Anyways,
what?
So what do you want to do? You want me to give my review? Or you want to hit it off? What's up?
I want you to tell me what you rated. What's your final score?
My final score for I Worship Chaos. Here's the thing with I Worship Chaos. I think this is Children of Bodom's best work in a long time. I think this is better than probably their last 4 albums, going back to Hate Crew Death Roll, or back to their classic stuff, the stuff that people really, really like. Is it worth my toe tag is what I'm trying to figure out. And here's the thing. We rate each song one by one, and we give each song a little score, personal score, just to kind of gauge how we're feeling the album. And when I average up all my scores, it's close. It's really close. And you know what? I'm going to give this album my toe tag because I do like it so much. And like I mentioned earlier, I think one of the reasons why we're being a little bit harsh on it, or a little bit bored, about it, for lack of a better term, is the fact that we have heard it so much. But I remember back when this album first came out, it was like, I was hyped on it. Like this album was the shit for me. And I was really, really, really into this album. So given that, and the fact that when I tally up all my scores, a 7.7 is what I got. So if I round that up, that's an 8. That's a toe tag right there. So yeah, this album gets my toe tag. I think it's a solid, wonderful, great album. And I think you guys should definitely check it out. But Fish, what do you think about it?
So listening to it, for a while, it was really hard, like when coming to have to rate it. Like I've been thinking to myself, like, what do I give this album? Because
it's hard.
For, to give a toe tag is like to have an album that really jumps at me and makes me go, oh my god, like this album is beautifully, like, amazing. And this album, although it has amazing songs that are worthy of toe tag, I feel like as a whole it doesn't break through there for me.
It didn't break through.
It just didn't, like, as a whole, hit through to getting my toe tag. But it was still a really good album, so it barely doesn't make the cut for it, but I'll give it 7.5.
7.5.
It's
wow.
it's
Just
close.
Shy
it's
of that
close.
tag. Just
it's
shy of
like
that
I said,
toe tag.
it's a good album. I really like it, but it doesn't go there for me. It just doesn't. But it's still a great album that you guys should definitely check out.
Fair enough. Well, it's not going to make the 2 toe tags list, unfortunately. But, I mean, if you guys like thrash metal, that's the genre I put this in.
Yeah.
I mean, Children of Bodom, you can't go wrong with Bodom.
Definitely check it out. It's a good album.
And
solid.
Yeah. As far as Bodom's discography goes, it's better than Relentless, Reckless, Forever. It's better than Halo of Blood. It's better than Trash, Lost, and Strung Out. It's better than, Are You Dead Yet? In my opinion, all those albums that came out within the past, decade or so. Better than all that. It's their best work in a long time. Definitely worth a listen. But with that said, that's the end of this video. We got 1 toe tag and 1 7.5. Just shy of the 2 toe tags.
Just shy.
Just this bit.
Just this much.
But still, fair is fair. It is what it is. But that's it for this video. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, favorite, all that fun stuff. We got lots more coming for you guys. I'm Vile Self.
I'm TV Fish.
We'll see you guys on the next one. Later.